corporate leaders that are creating better workspaces, couples that want to deepen their connection, people that are sick and tired of being misunderstood in every conversation. Dance might actually be the answer that you are looking for. Talkticians, welcome and welcome back. My name is Tatiana. I teach communication strategies to help you master conflict resolution. In today's video, we're talking about the connection between dance and communication, and I'm going to tell you why you should include dance in your journey to becoming a better communicator. So, believe it or not, dance and communication actually have a lot in common. My first thing on the list is your inner dialogue. The way that you talk to yourself is so important. So, whether you're in a dance studio or you're having a conversation, the way that you talk to yourself is going to be the first thing to show up. When things get difficult, do you tell yourself that you don't have what it takes to lead? Do you think that your voice doesn't matter when you're having conversation? That same inner voice that causes you to shrink when you are in the boardroom is the same thing that shows up when you're trying to take up space in the studio. So, excelling at dance, just like communication, starts with the way that you talk to yourself. The second thing that dance and communication have in common: vulnerability and trust are required. Like, you can't get around it. In order to deepen connection with another person, you have to be comfortable with being vulnerable and sharing who you are. And dance requires that very same vulnerability, especially when you are dancing with a partner, because not only do you have to trust yourself that you have processed the information and that you're going to get the choreography right, you also have to put that trust in another person. And let's not forget that you are going through this process of learning how to communicate or learning how to dance in front of other people, which can make it even more vulnerable. But that is what's necessary to build that trust and deepen that connection. So if you find that you really struggle with being vulnerable in communication, dance can be an excellent way to practice that. Another thing that dance and communication have in common is collaboration. Everybody is playing a different role, and they have to play that role really well and know how to connect with other people enough to make the dance or the conversation go off without a hitch. Just like in a conversation, you have a speaker and a listener. In dance, you have a lead and a follow. And I find that in communication, there's a lot of emphasis on being a great speaker, being a great orator. But to be honest, both speaking and listening are equally important to the process. The routine or the conversation doesn't work if one party is very domineering or if they're not present. Communication and dance require presence. The lead is responsible for initiating movement with clarity and intention. That means a gentle tap here, a gentle pull here to let the follow know what to do. The person that's following also has a job. They are there to be completely attentive so that they can pick up on those gentle cues, the taps and the pulls, so that the conversation or the choreography can actually go well. They are not in their head planning their rebuttal while the other person is speaking. Both parties are learning to flow between speaking and listening, whether the person is a follow, a lead, a speaker, or a listener. Either way it goes, you are sharpening skill in working collaboratively. And yes, collaboration is a skill. The next thing that dance and communication have in common: pattern recognition. And I didn't realize that until just recently. Dancers are very intelligent people, and I'm not just saying that because I am one. But not only are they skilled in bringing emotional depth to movement, learning choreography helps them to become quite adept at recognizing patterns. Problem solvers, communicators are good at doing the very same thing. Dancers are in class, they learning the cha-cha slide, slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross, all that stuff, right? If something feels off in the choreographic process, the dancers or the choreographer does something to change that. And inevitably that change improves the dance and improves the experience for the performer. Couples, team leaders, parents, people who are training in communication are also very good at pattern recognition. They train themselves to recognize when they or the other person is emotionally flooded. They can see when the conversation is going from being productive to being stuck in a cycle. And to be quite honest, that's what a lot of poor communication is. It's being stuck in cycles and not having the awareness or the skill level to get out of it. Dance helps you to spot patterns both in your mindset and your movement. So this is an excellent skill that transfers very well into communication. And another thing, practice builds mastery. You don't just become Debbie Allen overnight. And the same thing goes for communication. Whether you are giving a presentation in the boardroom or you are serving on the dance floor, both situations require awareness. They require tons and tons of practice, repetition, and the willingness to keep getting things wrong, working through the emotion so that you can actually get it right. This takes years of focus, learning, unlearning, and being willing to practice to get better. We admire speakers like former President Barack Obama and Oprah and Les Brown without understanding that it takes years of consistent practice to master the skills that I'm talking about. Being vulnerable, learning how to collaborate with other people, engaging in positive dialogue. The same way that dancers have to be in rehearsals every day to get ready for a big show, or the same way that professional dancers keep taking classes to keep their skills fresh. It's the same thing that excellent communicators do. They're constantly learning and growing and perfecting. So now that we have a better understanding of the connection between dance and communication, I want to give us some more of the tangible benefits that we can use from taking dance classes. Yes, you will get an amazing workout. Yes, it's a great way to meet new people. But my favorite part is that dance is fun. You can let your guard down. Fun is disarming. In a dance class, you're moving, you're smiling, you're probably laughing at yourself, you're connecting with other people. And it's that openness and that spontaneity that transfers into your conversations. You learn how to take yourself less seriously. You learn how to crack a joke. You learn that everything is not dire. Every conversation doesn't need to feel like a political debate. Okay. So dance teaches you how to have some fun. Dance strengthens your skill in collaboration. It teaches you how to stand in your own power without overpowering all the other dancers around you. You learn how to effectively share space, how to give constructive feedback to your fellow dancers, and most importantly, how to blend ideas. It's one thing to voice the idea, to share it, but then to figure out what parts need to be moved, what needs to be shifted, how do we need to collaborate better? That's a completely different skill. And you need all these things in order to collaborate better and to have healthier conversations. Dance is another opportunity for you to master your thoughts and feelings. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? How do you feel when everybody else done caught onto the choreography and you are still on the first 8 count? Do you sulk? Do you get frustrated? Do you quit? Or do you put in some more work? Humble yourself. Partner with somebody that got the skill down and get better. Those are the same things that are coming up when you need to deliver a big presentation or have a very vulnerable conversation, maybe with a partner. Now, dance is a lot of fun, but it can also be really challenging because it shines a light on your weak areas and it demands that you grow. Being in class is going to help you see body language in a completely different way. In dance, body is the language. When you are performing, that audience doesn't know you from a can of paint. They are completely dependent on your ability to showcase sadness, grief, happiness, excitement through your body. Ain't no words. So that means you need to be really in tune with yourself and the character that you're playing. 93% of human communication is actually nonverbal. Whether we recognize it or not, we are constantly giving signals and communicating with people through our tone, our body language, our facial expressions. So being in a body-centered environment like a dance class helps you to hone the skill of picking up on those little cues. It's a very powerful skill to have as a communicator. One, you learn how to read the room, but you also learn how to read the person in front of you, and you can pick up on things that the average person just wouldn't. You don't believe me? Years ago, I was talking to one of my dancer friends, just having a casual conversation, and right in the middle, she was like, "Do you have anxiety?" And I was like, I just thought it was such a strange question. I was like, "No. Why?" And she was like, "Well, I mean, you've been talking this whole time and you haven't breathed. Like, you're holding your breath." Now, at the time, I hadn't told a single soul that I was struggling with anxiety. So, from a mental health perspective, it felt so good to be seen. Her being able to pick up on that helped to deepen our relationship and our connection, and it led to a really fruitful conversation that really helped me. Having the skill to pick up on body language not only helps you to read that person, but it helps you decide on, is the timing even right to have this conversation? What emotions could this person possibly be dealing with? And that's important because when you understand that, it helps to guide the conversation in a healthier way. Game changer, y'all. Game changer. Get in class. Being in class actually strengthens your active listening skills. When you are in class, you're learning choreography or you're talking to a partner, you got to be present. You got to be listening. In class, you get so much more practice in being curious and asking clarifying questions. There's really no time to zone out because if you do that, baby, the class has already moved on to the next piece. There is no space for you to be interrupting the instructor or, coming in there with your ego. That's just, dance just does not lend itself for that. And neither should conversations with the people that we love. So, dance will help you to become more present and to be better at active listening. So, just like dance, communication is a full body experience. And when we learn to master the rhythm of listening and speaking, we turn conflict into connection. So, if you're a leader in the corporate space that's ready to help your teams reduce tension, build trust, and resolve conflict in a creative, movement based way, I'd love to partner with you. The link is in the description. So I'm here to help and I enjoy hearing from you all. So let me know in the comments, what do you want me to cover next? Talkticians, until next time.